I'm still alive, and today, like with many of my videos, we're going back to my childhood. But unlike in the past, we're not going over the entertainment I consumed as a younger lad, we're going over my education instead. I feel like when you're a kid, you just kind of accept all things adults do as being completely normal, but then when you grow a little older, you realize that no one really knew what was going on. And I think that definitely holds true for my 4th grade music teacher, Mr. Williams. That's not his real name, although I will be giving out bonus points in the comment section for anyone who can figure out why I gave him this fake name. Now I want to preface this by saying that I thoroughly enjoyed Mr. Williams' music class, and in fact, I would often look forward to it. However, this may sound crazy, but I cannot for the life of me recall a single time we learned about music in his class. Like, I guess some things were vaguely related to music, but I don't think we ever actually learned any information. So if we never did lectures or assignments, what did we spend 50 minutes a day doing? Well, the best way I can describe it is it felt like Mr. Williams' interactive variety show. Sometimes we would have 15 minutes of what was essentially a stand-up set on why piano bars, a place I don't think any 4th grader has ever been in, were kind of annoying to talk in. And other days we would be playing a movie trivia game with teams divided up into the rows that we sat in. And he assigned us team names that I clearly remember to this day because of how insane they were, of Cloud9, Dr. Nefarious, and Bonus. What? I still don't have any idea what these meant or why they were the first thing he thought of. But Mr. Williams' lessons did not end there. I am pretty sure that we once spent an entire class getting a director's commentary on a 30-second long Goodwill commercial he was in. And the craziest part is that I remember me and the rest of the class fully enjoying it. Because the thing is, I don't think he ever wanted to be a teacher. I still find myself laughing over a lot of his bits nearly a decade later. But that being said, there was one thing he brought up nearly every class that really bothered me. The only context you need is that it was 2017 at the time, and just a few years earlier, a movie called Rise of the Guardians had just come out. Essentially, it's about Santa Claus, the Easter Bunny, the Tooth Fairy, and Jack Frost teaming up to defeat the Boogeyman from destroying children's belief in them. It's a pretty good movie, but one day, seemingly out of the blue, Mr. Williams mentioned that DreamWorks had stolen the idea for this movie from him. Now, little 9-year-old me was sitting up straighter. I really liked Rise of the Guardians, so I was interested to hear how they had plagiarized this story. But then Mr. Williams went on to describe how he had written this weird stage play about Santa Claus, the Easter Bunny, and the Tooth Fairy all just kind of hanging out at a bar. I'm sorry, but that is so wildly different from this movie. The plot is totally different, or rather Rise of the Guardians actually had a plot, and the main character, Jack Frost, wasn't even in his stage play. Now, if this had just been one offhanded comment about how he had happened to write a play with the same characters, it would have been fine. But he would bring this up like every class, and he clearly thought a lot about it. I think he genuinely believed that DreamWorks had heard about his idea and then adapted it into a movie behind his back. I could go on about more of the absurd things we covered in his class, but I want to end on a more positive note. Despite the fact that he might not have been the best music teacher, Mr. Williams was very funny and entertaining. And I remember having one of my proudest moments during one of his classes. Basically, we were doing a fake trivia game show with really easy questions where I was one of the contestants. The goal was to act really dumb while answering these pretty simple questions. And at this point, I had stopped questioning how any of this was even related to a music class. And I remember that the question was, what is 1 + 1? So I turned around my whiteboard with my answer to show that I'd filled it all up with just a ton of random calculations. It was a pretty simple joke, but I remember Mr. Williams snorting with laughter so clearly. It was the first time in my life I had made an adult who I found funny laugh by making my own joke, and I think it really boosted my self-esteem at the time. So for all the wildly irrelevant lessons, I really loved this class. So thank you, Mr. Williams. And thank you, the viewer, for watching what is somehow the 100th video that I have made. Nate, I'll see you on Monday. Yes, I just addressed 3 people in as many sentences. I'm not rewriting this ending.